Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Wake Up. We're out here in Chicago, so let's give it up for Chicago. We've got the women's here. Today's subject is going to be somebody that's fucked you over. Story, something, as simple as you borrowed them money and you needed that money and they just fucking never got it to you, I have a buddy of mine, I'm not going to give his name. He all of a sudden needed a place to stay. I put him up in a place. I said to him, yeah, don't worry about it. No big deal. I got you. I got your back. I'm going to help you out. It's usually when you're helping somebody out, you get fucked over, right? When you look to be good, the fucking bad comes fast, correct? When you look to be good, the bad comes without you even fucking knowing, right? So anyways, I put this man up in my place. I told him, hey, just change over the ComEd bill and whatever. All of a sudden, he's got like 20 different girls up there. I get a complaint from the building. I own the property. And I call him and I'm like, hey, man, I let you stay for a month. It's time to go. He fucking hates me. He don't want to talk to me. He don't want to know me no more. He don't want nothing to do with me, right? But I'm the family member that said yes. People forget that you're the one that said yes, correct? They forget that. And they got a bunch of fucking no's beforehand, correct? There's a lot of people that say fucking no. Oh, no, I'm sorry. I can't do this for you. When you say yes, you set yourself up to create a new enemy. It's fucked up in the head, but it's there. But Diamond, if you want to elaborate a little more, maybe on one of your experiences, or
I feel like I have too many fucking experiences.
Well, give us one.
I just feel like I can't even elaborate because it's so fucking many. I'm a giver by nature. So I feel like I overly give because I know what it feels like not to have shit. So I'm always helping people out. And I feel like, people are never going to remember the times you say yes. They're going to remember the one time you say no. And I feel like money would be the biggest issue. Definitely. Letting people borrow money is always... why am I embarrassed to ask you for my money and you're not embarrassed to fucking, you know what I'm saying? Just to give it to me. Like, you're fucking taking flights and you're fucking doing this and that, but you haven't even paid me my money yet. Like, I just feel like, I honestly, right hand of God, there's so many fucking encounters that I can't even say, but I feel like money has always been the biggest and most embarrassing issue for me. Just letting people...
Well, give us a story.
I'll let somebody else talk, and then when I think about it, because I just feel like there's so fucking many, I really cannot.
Who's got a good one over here? You got one?
Pretty good one. Mine actually came with a relationship. So I'm a giver in the same type of nature, but I'll literally give anything to support who I'm with. So I was...
A lot of people do that.
Yeah. I was with a guy at one time. My lease had finished, and he started becoming a welder's helper in Wyoming. So I moved all the way to Wyoming.
Oh, wow.
No car. No place, nothing. Literally just mailed my shit over there, said I was going to do it, founded 2 jobs out there. I went from being Chicago city girl to
country
Wyoming. Yeah. and literally I was the darkest person in the town. The town was literally a mile long. There's one grocery store, one restaurant, and the restaurant was the brewery. If you wanted to go into town, it was a 2-hour drive type shit. I found out within the first 2 weeks I was there, he had been cheating on me the entire time.
Got you with the Wyoming girl?
With multiple. He was on Plenty of Fish, Tinder, all this other shit. And the town's not big. So when I started working in 2 of the places, a grocery store where everybody goes and the local brewery where everyone drinks. Yeah, I found some shit out real quick. I ended up having to be there for 6 months until I got enough money to buy a car to get the fuck out of there. And even after that, he was so upset I wasn't distraught about the relationship and him cheating on me that I was literally sleeping on what are those, lazy boys or whatever? I was sleeping on that every night while he was sleeping on the bed because I refused to fucking sleep with them. And I would still going to town with all the other people I was making friends with. And because he was I wasn't distraught and upset, he threw my shit out on the lawn. I had to figure out my own way back. And I never moved away since. That was the last time I ever moved away from Chicago.
You learned your lesson.
Yeah, fuck that. It was so bad.
I think you have a good one.
So I'm gonna say my little friend. He did me an Uber from work home. Well, to his house, actually, to be exact.
Okay.
His house, and he wanted to see me and everything, but he was so drunk and being so petty, the nigga left me outside for a whole hour.
And it was cold.
And it was cold at that. And it was raining too. Left me outside, so yeah, that's a fucked up shit. Bitch, now you could stay outside. If now I when the motherfucker need my help, I'll drag. Cause bitch, you had me outside for a whole hour at 4:00 in the morning.
I was there when this happened. That's why I got a
Yeah.
Damn, 4:00 in the morning. Yeah, that's pretty rough.
right.
But it's not.
That's the worst thing that ever happened to me.
No, that's light then.
That's
Bogus
like
as fuck.
But you have no ride and you're outside in the cold and you have no way back. And that's
yeah.
You jumped in the Uber though.
He
You
was-
feel like some kind of liability on there yourself.
Uber. He sent no because I was fucking. Well, I was fucking with him. So he sent me the Uber. Said he was coming, and he never showed up.
At his own house, he wasn't.
At his own house, he never showed up at his own house. So I'm just feeling like a loose duck. So I had to be
looking out the window and shit.
You got a story over there, Nikki?
Oh yeah, I have a story.
Well, give it to
I
him.
definitely have a story. Okay, so this one was more like I got flown out to a state.
Okay.
So I found this guy on Instagram. He's like a comedian in Atlanta, and
Famous comedian or no?
You could say he was up there. He was up
Okay.
there for sure. So I started liking all his content, and he reached out. He messaged me. He's like, "What's good? Do you want to get flown out to Georgia?" And I'm over here like, I'm a shorty, right? I'm like in my 18. I'm 18 at that time. So I'm like, yeah, you know what? I never experienced that, and I want to say I got flown out by some dude.
Some random dude.
Yeah,
Okay.
random dude. A random dude. I don't recommend it. So you know what? I'm so new to it, but my girl was like so comfortable like having this happen. I messaged her and I'm like, you know what? Do you want to come with me? He said I could bring a friend along, and she was with it. So he got us 2 tickets. The day of, we went to the airport. She didn't show up. She said that she's running late, but she didn't ever end up showing up. So I let him know, you know what, like I missed my flight because of her, because I was waiting on her. So he had to rebook the flight, just me. And he was already kind of pissed that she didn't show up. So I get there, you know, the guy pulls up in a Suburban at the airport. We go.
That's a red flag right away. Yeah.
You know what? I thought it was fun. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm living the dream. I'm living the dream, right? Because I'm 18, like first time ever having this happen to me. So we go to this mansion, you know, like I'm setting up my bags and stuff. That's around the time I started like my Snapchat Premium. So I'm like, cool, like I'm going to get some cool content going on. It's going to be fun. It's going to be a win for me, right? So we get straight to the point. That first night we got straight to the point. We did like the dirty deed, right? We go straight to it.
Yeah.
And then, you know what? He's like, I never asked him what he did for like living besides like his little like comedian stuff on Instagram. So he cashed at me, you know, just for being there with him. And then when he sent the money, he said, oh, my bad. I didn't mean to send it to that account. Can I send it through a different account? But can you send the money back? And to me, you know, like I've been around a couple scammers here and there. To me, I felt like in my gut, that just didn't sit well with me.
how much did he send?
Like about like 2K.
Okay.
Yeah, for like the weekend. So I said, no, I can't do that. And he's like, fine, fuck it, that's fine. So the next day, you know, we go in, what was it? Like a Mercedes-Benz Buzz. We go pick up food with all his like little friends. And then later on that night, he's like, let's go to downtown. I have a condominium. He's like, take your suitcase, everything. I said, fine, let's go. So we pull up, we're walking towards the condominium. And then he tells me, oh, I'm going to run back to the car and get my ticket. And I said, okay, cool. I see this man get in his car and take off.
Oh, wow.
Take off.
No.
And I'm like, is this really happening? Is this like, that's when I woke up. Like I snapped from like this like little dreamy world to reality. I'm like, this man just left me. And I'm calling his phone back to back. I'm messaging him. Then there was a Chipotle nearby. So my phone was about to die. I'm like, I need to charge my phone real quick. So I charged my phone and I told my friend what happened. And later on he messaged me and he's like, you know what? You're messing up my money. I can't have you around.
Oh, wow.
I can't have you around. And I'm like, what? So thankfully I have supportive friends. You know, they send me
So you got money to get back home.
money to
That's
get a
good,
hotel.
Was it because of the 2K?
No, it's because he was trying to scan me. He was trying to Cash App scan me.
I know. So did you keep the 2K?
Yeah, I
it go
did.
Through?
Yeah, I did.
Oh,
go
so
through.
he wanted you to send it back and because
Yeah,
you
so
didn't,
then
he
he
was a little
wanted. Yeah,
upset.
so then he
So
wanted
he's just
me.
trying to pull some scam.
Yeah, so he.
But at the end
wanted
of
to
the
get
day,
my-
let's say he just left you there in
No,
Atlanta.
yeah, he did. So he wanted to scan me because it's like a little. I'm not gonna say too much about it, but
Yeah. So
when-
you if you give women advice, you say don't fly yourself, don't go out nowhere.
Don't do it. Don't do it. Even though it's like, oh, like I want to do it because it sounds raw. To
Like,
do
you don't
it.
know how they're living.
Don't do it because you don't know what you're setting up yourself for. You don't know
Instagram's
what
got a
you're
lot of
doing.
fake shit on there.
Exactly. No.
I mean, what about you,
Yeah.
Elena? You got anything going? You never been fucked over?
I don't think I've been fucked over. I feel like I've been fucked over by like lies. Never like money or anything like that. Nothing physical. It's just
So someone lies to you, that's a big fuck over?
Yeah, because I don't tolerate that. I don't care if it's about $1 or like lying about a penny or a nickel. Like, don't lie to me. Like, there's no reason why you should.
Do you have an
lie.
example of somebody that lied to you that really?
I guess it's like the one thing with the Ileana thing. Okay. Well, there's this girl I used to know. I used to live with her.
Oh God.
And, whatever. We lived together, she was at rock bottom, she had a really neglectful boyfriend. She told me, like, you know what? You're not doing good at home. Like, you can come stay with me. Let's just split the rent. And I was like, let's do it. Like, I needed to get out of my house at that time. So I did it. And, she was sleeping on, like, a bag in her book bag. Like, she had no furniture, no nothing. So I brought this girl up, I took care of her. I started feeding her, paid like the bills for the first 2 months just because she gave me the opportunity to stay. She gave me first month free, which is like, we were helping each other out. And then, we fell off, I found out she was being fake to me, and she tried to like I introduced her to 2 people in my life, and all 4 of us were going to get a bigger house and split it, the rent. They ended up signing the lease without me, played me the whole time while I lived there. And she had the audacity, like a month later, texting my family members, your daughter owes me all rent. She never paid me. She's like making up all these lies and trying to incriminate me about doing all these things. But I have all my Zelle receipts and everything of when I paid her and everything. And I'm just like, it's just crazy to me how you could bring someone up. This man ran through our house. He almost, did things to her. And I stopped it. I saved her from that. And I don't care. And I'm going to take that because I did save her. I did bring her up.
So she just fucked you over by not. She didn't want to live with you.
Yeah, no, not even that. Like, I don't care if you want to live with me. Like, it's just, don't be like trying to say I don't do nothing for you, coming at my family. Like, you're talking to my family, saying I didn't ever paid you rent. Like, what do you look like? Like, that's crazy to me. I don't think it's always like the ones who take like that.
Yeah,
they could just shit on you and don't care. Like, I just don't.
Well,
care.
as a giver, you have to have your limits because takers don't have any.
Bro, I had a roommate that, like, she was my boss too. She was my
best friend. God, that's even worse.
She was my best friend and my boss. I was working at LA Fitness at the time. She was the district manager, and I was like one of the managers.
Fuck you, LA Fitness.
Yeah, right. But we were like best friends. And when I had moved back from Wyoming, she wanted to move out of her parents, and I needed to obviously move somewhere because I just came back from Wyoming.
So you just kept getting fucked.
Yeah. Oh, this got real fucked. Okay, and it was just fucked to me because she and I had such a close relationship, and I guess I kind of knew she had like some pop and pill problem, like Xanax and shit. But I didn't really think it was much because her parents were so loaded. Like, they took care of everything for her. She didn't even pay rent. I paid half of the rent. Her parents paid hers. I was giving her money for Comcast, all this other stuff, and I never watched TV. And after like some time, I just started noticing like weird shit. First, I would go and like watch TV, coming home after a long day, and the TV's not working. What the fuck? Why? I call Comcast, $600 hadn't been paid. What the fuck you mean $600? I've been giving you $100 each month. So not only did I find out I was paying the whole bill, not half of the bill, and then on top of that, she literally wasn't even using the money for that. She was using my money for pills.
So I got a story.
And she ended up stealing from me. She told me that some guy had broke into our house.
Oh my God.
Went through all of our shit. She's got Burberry fucking mascara. This motherfucker stealing my shit that's like some tanning lotion and some bullshit. Fuck out of here. Literally, I had one box full of cash, and that was for a brand new car I wanted. So I had cash. But you would not know unless you went through every single shoebox in my closet. I just had it randomly in a whole bunch of shoeboxes. And she went through all of them. Destroyed my whole entire room. Yep, took it.
Man, women.
And I literally
got women just crazy.
Yeah, and I literally just took all my shit after I found that. I took all my shit. I didn't even think about where I was going. I took all my shit. I left my bed, my desk, everything. And I was like, fuck you, I'm out. And that was...
So I got a good story about a fucking pill popping piece of shit. So this is a good one in Reddit. You know what I'm talking about. So before, when I opened up my first I opened up a nightclub, bar, whatever, when I was 26 years old, right? So when I opened this up, and I will fucking name drop because I don't give a fuck. So this could air publicly. So there was this guy, and he owned a bar. And my friend took me over there, and he's like, Diamond, you need a bartend, whatever. I'm going to make the story. I'm going to wrap it up as short as I can. So this guy's like, you need a bartend here. This guy's going to give you $500 just to come in and bartend. I'm like, okay, yeah, because I'm not going to waste my time. The bar's dead as fuck. I get it popping. First night, I make like $1,800. I fucking make like $600 in tips. Plus, the guys gave me $500 on top of that. So, now we build a friendship, me and this guy. He owns the bar. We built a friendship or whatever. At the time I was working nightlife. I had money saved up, but I didn't know what I wanted to do with it. This is what got me into the industry. But everything comes back as a blessing in disguise, believe it or not. So whatever, I invest all this money. He's behind on rent. He's behind on bills. It's just like, I just see everything crumbling in front of him. I didn't know he had an addiction to pills. So I'm like, I got like 50 grand. Like, I can help you out. So, I had 3 cards. I give him a card for him to waste on cigarettes, Starbucks, and Lululemon because that's all this motherfucker did. Like, he had no money, though. And I give it to him. And then I have my own card. Now we have another card we're using on the bar. And I have no contract, no nothing. It's just me, like, out the goodness of my heart, like, thinking there's something going to come about this. And he's like, make a contract. We'll do 50-50. You don't have to put no money in. But I am putting money in because I'm paying all his back shit. So long story short, I end up finding out that he has an addiction to pills. He goes missing for like a week and then he just barges in the bar. Like, I'm buying the liquor. I'm keeping this bitch running. I'm like, okay, this is my bar now. And he's like, and he walks in one day like, you need to close this shit down. Like, wow, he looks crazy. He has a 5 o'clock shadow. He has fucking bags. Like I never seen him look like this before. And I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you? And I end up finding out he has this addiction. And I was like, okay, cool. We boxed it out. Police came, I'm like, you better shut
Jesus.
I'm like, you better shut this bar down or like, I'm not going. He didn't, and something happened, and whatever, like, it ended up being closed down. And then the landlord hit me up, a few months later, like, hey, you were paying all the rent, all the money was coming for you. Do you want to open the bar? And I fucking took it over. Diamonds Bar and Lounge, baby.
Okay. There's a round of applause for
And I got, testimony in the room, because it went just like that, and I overly helped them. And like I said, that's what I'm saying, like me giving, it's been so many situations, but I feel like that was one where it was the largest amount of money that I've ever touched or ever experienced. And I was so depressed and so heartbroken when that bar closed. Like, I swear I probably didn't shower for fucking days or eat for days. Like, didn't want to brush my teeth. I was that depressed. It took a toll on me. I feel like I seen interview that Kanye West did where he said taking a public loss is one of the greatest things. If you could take a public loss, you're ready for any type of failure, be able to bounce back from it. And I had so many people when I opened up this bar, like wishing bad on me and saying like, she's not going to do it. She's going to go right back to what she was doing before. And when I did it and I took over and my name was on the front and like, it was just insane, and it took about 1.5 years, but I did it. And it was crazy. Somebody that tried to use me, it worked out for me to open up multiple businesses off this one bar.
God multiply.
Yeah.
What about you over there? You look like you got something to say.
Me?
Yeah.
I was just going to say, like minor setback for a major come up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's how it is. That's how it is.
Sure.
You give, just expect you're not going to get it in return. But you know what? That's a blessing. When you give, you get more back.
Oh, I mean, it ended up working out, but it doesn't work out for everybody, unfortunately.
It doesn't work out all the time.
No.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't. And sometimes, like I said, when you are a giver, you have to set limits because takers don't have any.
Exactly.
And I definitely put myself in a position to get fucked over with no contract or anything like that, but I didn't know any better. I was 26 years old.
I think as you grow in as an adult, like you realize what a taker is. It's really hard to see what a real taker is until you like get that perspective. Like,
if someone, even people don't have to have material stuff or money to help you out. People can be beneficial as far as like coming over and cleaning your house.
Yeah,
just the littlest stuff when you have, it's the little shit that matters for you. If someone can do that little stuff for you, that's what makes you want to give. But you know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't always have to be about money. It's just having somebody there for you, but you definitely got to set limits because you know how it is, people.
Yeah, takers will take. I mean, it all depends, if you have it or if you don't have it. But a taker will keep taking and taking and taking. And then you'll be like, damn, they got money in their pocket and they'll still take from you. It's like the rule of 20 where you give, like, hey, can I borrow $20? Like, yeah. And then you're at the bar with that same person and they take out like $300. You're like, didn't I just give you $20? Like, what the fuck? Right. You see this weird shit and you're like, but at the end of the day, you can't be the sucker.
Now you got your life for $20,
Like,
yeah.
Block you, stop talking to you just because he owes you $20.
Yeah, but I mean, women, you guys are even worse, I would think. Another woman fucks you over, you guys cut them off on everything. It's done. Men, we'll forgive after a certain point in time, I think. But women, you guys will hold a grudge for a very, very long time. Correct?
Very much so.
Depends.
I beg to
You
differ.
expect better from your friend. Like,
I think it all depends on everyone who, how they approach that problems. But
it's good to forgive. You can't, even.
You can forgive, but you can't forget.
Right,
correct?
You can forgive, but you can't forget. It will still come back and hunt you. But that's up to you if you want to make peace with the past.
Yeah, I always say be good to a point to people. You know what I mean? You can keep it cordial. You don't need to make any enemies because you never know who that person knows, but you can be cordial. That's kind of how I see it. Men, they like to do that. They'll just say, you know what, I'm cool with this guy, but I don't fuck with him on this level. Yeah. I got cousins of mine that, they're just fucking degenerates. Yeah. At the end of the day, I don't want to mess with them. I think they're okay guys, but I'm not getting involved with anything they do. You know, I don't want to be in that same circle, and that's life in general. But
Arm's length.
of course. I think it goes more with family members too, in general too. Your family members are the worst ones because they fucking expect everything,
They
right?
expect it from you. They expect it like, oh, I birthed you, your family, you owe me.
And that's the hardest people to cut off when you're trying to come up or start something too, is your family. Realistically,
Fuck them.
it's hard. But all right, guys, I know we're kind of going in a little late. Thank you guys for joining us another episode of Wake Up. We appreciate you guys out here.